Okay, we are live. So looking at this, this would be a great way to open up this for Donna Adelson's hearing. Check this out.
I know you already testified about this, but does an innocent person say if they had any evidence?
Right. Katie's saying it's the police, and I'm saying that we're innocent. They're not going to have any evidence to show we were part of something that we were part of. If we had any part of this, we'd be going to the airport right now. And I
Isn't
still
it
say
true,
the same
Doctor,
thing.
that they're not going to have any evidence because you were careful?
No, because we weren't a part of this.
You were smart.
No, we weren't a part of this.
You walled yourself off from
I was
the
sure
killers.
they're not going to have evidence to show I did something I didn't do. So we're not running to the airport.
You're untouchable, right?
No.
Donna Adelson was arrested right here at Miami International Airport on the jetway as she was getting ready to board a one-way flight to Vietnam. That's a country without extradition to the United States. Now she's in custody in Miami, waiting to be transferred to Tallahassee.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we had nothing to do with this. We would be on a flight. The way he says it, he's just laughing it off. If I were accused of a murder, I'd be so upset. I'd be so angry. You notice there's none of that anger. He's laughing. I mean, he's practically laughing as he's testifying. We weren't a part of this. Murder? Not a part of it. Hey, She Fly. Hey, Tater. Hey, YB. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, my dog named Bo. Looks like they are going to broadcast this. So I was perfectly prepared to tap dance. If not. But tomorrow, Donna Adelson's trial starts. We have jury selection. I'm curious. You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious about asking you guys what you think if Donna Adelson is going to hire a jury consultant for her trial like Charlie did. He hired sleazy Josh Dubin. I just watched a video where Josh Dubin was described as something like some kind of rights attorney. I'm like, the guy's my opinion, a total sleazeball. Guilty people out of prison for fun and profit. Hold on. So let me put a poll here. Will Donna Adelson hire a jury consultant? Hey, MC. Sometimes my audience is smarter than I am. Most times. Your predictions tend to be, although most times they tend to be right on. Yes, 61%, 57%. Now it's going down. I'm wondering if she's going to just say, oh, it was a total waste of money with Charlie Adelson. I would think that because she feels she's up against it in Tallahassee, and she has the money, that she would spend it on that. But is she going to hire Josh Dubin, who was so totally ineffective in Charlie Adelson's trial? I mean, what they do is they just harangue the potential jury. I mean, it's just a way of poisoning the jury pool and to get ideas in their mind like that beyond a reasonable doubt is beyond any doubt. It's not having any doubt being, I mean, you can't be 100% certain for something that you weren't there for, but as certain as you can be. Doubt has to be reasonable. She will throw money at everything, Jane says. Hold on, let me go. She will throw money at everything, like all of her stupid motions. Apparently, Judge Everett still hasn't ruled on Wendy's motion that she puts in at pretty much every trial to limit her questioning and to limit the questions by the defense, because she has no immunity with the defense. I mean, it's not like she's a lawyer. It's not like she's going to mess up on the stand and admit something. These lawyers think like criminals. So, yeah, that's a good question. I assume 9 o'clock. Raise the road. Good question. Raise the road. I don't even know. I assume 9 o'clock. Does anyone know any different? I should probably find out, shouldn't I? Yeah. Assume 9 Eastern. Maybe they'll start at 10. Hey, kitties. Thanks so much for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate it. They will be handed out at random. So if there's any kind of emojis members want before the trial, let me know. There's a lot of stuff up there. Banana bread, other things, but I'll try to put up some new emojis before tonight for the trial. So while we're waiting, so this was reported in the news, like this is a last minute hearing. And they remarked the same thing I remarked. It wasn't even listed, still not listed on her schedule. Donna Adelson's schedule. So I appreciate you telling me about it. I check her court case. That's public. Florida does such a good job of keeping all these filings public as much as they can. You know, the ones that aren't sealed. I mean, they're just redacted. If the parts that are sealed are just redacted. But I wish every court case where Florida did what Florida does and make everything public and so easy to find. So you want a Luis death glare emoji? I don't know if I heard maybe they changed it. So when I first started doing them, you were allowed to put up people's faces. So I had a Wendy emoji. I had a Georgia Kappelman emoji, all sorts of different things. And then they changed it so you couldn't put up people's faces as an emoji. But I heard they changed it back. So I don't know. I'll have to find out. But if I can put up a death glare, I will. Definitely. But yeah, also, someone was saying that Rashbaum, we know he was a civil lawyer and that he was doing the Adelsons a favor. My understanding is that he really campaigned to represent her criminally, that it wasn't the other way around. But I'm not on the inside. I do get tips, but I'm not on the inside of the Adelson family. I don't know. He certainly was committed to representing them both, and he got very enmeshed with that family. You want a Ferrari? Washed money hanging on a line? Okay, here are some ideas. Okay, let me put up some of these ideas. Bullet bourbon bottle, an owl. Okay. A plane with a red X through it. Thank you, guys. Stapled money. Yeah, I had a fun. I actually had to have AI make me like a stack of stapled money when I was making the Maestro video. Washed money hanging on a line. Ferrari. Does anybody remember this video?
I don't know, like you just put it in and just kind of go to town and talk about yourself.
Stop the murder trial with a shake of my head. Watch the blood in Georgia, you would have thought they were made of lead. Underestimate me and you'll see what you get. Charlie's never wrong because Charlie's always right. I'm not Fredo, I'm Charlie, I'm not dumb, I'm right. I'm the maestro. As I go to town, leave them unsatisfied, but they would still come round. I got staple money in my safe, I'm ready to spend, but that was all before I got done for murder. Now I'm doing love in the state pen. I'm the maestro. It's spelled out on the back of my Ferrari. I'm the maestro. I ordered the paella. Don't forget the calamari. Oh, got staple money in my safe, I'm ready to spend. But that was all before I got done for murder. Now I'm doing airport in the state pen. I'm mad at the jury for not seeing reasonable doubt. Who hasn't been? It started on the Latin King's payment plan for a set amount. Asked the gang members why they were so sensitive to my feelings. Georgia mesmerized the jury. You would have thought she was Houdini. I'm the maestro. It's spelled out on the back of my Ferrari. I'm the maestro. I ordered the paella. Don't forget the calamari. I'm the maestro. It's spelled out on the back of my Ferrari. I'm the maestro. I ordered the paella. Don't forget the calamari. I'm all down with maestro. I'm the maestro. I'm the maestro. I'm the maestro.
Okay, there's another song to rile up the haters. Okay. Let's see. So Law and Crime doesn't have this for another 15 minutes. I'm not exactly sure why. I have local news. Are they doing anything on it? Sometimes WCTV does. No, they're investigating. Oh, coming up, emergency hearing for Donna. Yeah. Okay, good. Because I'd rather watch it on WCTV than Law and Crime. With all their nonsense on the side of the, I don't know, it's distracting to me. All the runners and the things that they have. So they say it's set to start at 1:30. So as soon as it goes, I'll show you what I'm looking at on WCTV. Hold on. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at standby for a live event. So as soon as they go live, I will go live. I mean, I'll broadcast it. So I'm not getting into anything heavy, distracting myself with anything else. The other videos. Is Patty there? Maybe Judge is seated. Oh, thanks, Patty.
I believe we have everyone that is necessary for the hearing at this time. Parties may make their appearances on the record.
Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Catherine Dugan for the state.
Joshua Zoman and Jackie Fulford for Mrs. Adelson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. John Rollo on behalf of the witness Wendy Adelson, and my colleague Matthew Luca is with me as well.
Good afternoon. I have reviewed your motion, Mr. Loro, concerning the defense's subpoena as far as placing a statement on the record. I don't know if any of the parties have a position concerning you placing a statement on the record, but similar to the other trials in this matter, I do not have an issue if you do so prior to the testimony of your client. As to the placing the statement on the record, does the state have a position?
No objection, Your Honor.
Does the defense have a position?
No position, Your Honor.
Concerning placing a statement on the record, Mr. Loro, you will be permitted to do so, or another member of your firm, before your client testifies. As to the motion to quash the defense subpoena, does the state have a position?
No, Your Honor, no position.
Does the defense have a position?
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead.
May I stay here?
You may.
Judge, the issue here and the concern that we have on behalf of Mrs. Adelson is there have been 2 prior rulings in the homicide of Mr. Markel. One came from Judge Hankinson, and then another one came from Judge Wheeler. What Judge Hankinson ruled is that the immunity conferred by the state subpoena extended to cross-examination, and we believe that's an accurate statement of the law. However, Judge Wheeler limited cross-examination to only what the state brings forth on direct. This is a premature at this point, Judge. We have her under subpoena, and we may want to elicit testimony from her.
Well, before we get there on that point, when she's called as a state witness and she is cross-examined, she can be cross-examined on all matters raised by the direct and on matters of bias or impeachment or motive to lie. All matters that she can be cross-examined on pursuant to the rules of evidence extend under that state subpoena.
I understand that, Judge, but our issue is, suppose that she's one of the first witnesses to testify, and suppose after she testifies, other issues come up that we know, if we called her, she could rebut what has been said. It's not necessarily would be something that she would need to invoke her rights. It could be a very simple issue, and we would need her testimony. So until we go through the trial to see what happens, it's impossible for us to say, yes, just cross-examining her on bias and credibility and whatever the state has asked about sounds good in the state's case until we hear further testimony and some issue arises.
I'll allow Mr. Lawyer to make his argument, but the crux of his motion is you cannot offer this witness any protection as it relates to you calling her in your case in chief. What is your response to the written argument on that matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on, Mr. Lawyer. I'm going to allow Ms. Fulford.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me. I'm sorry, sir.
You can make your argument in just a moment.
So the issue as to immunity, we cannot confer immunity to her, Judge. We agree with that. We can't. But there may be other issues where she could testify to something that she's not taking a chance, if you will, that she's going to say something that could be used against her in the future. There could be other matters that are raised in the trial that we simply want to get testimony from her as. She is the daughter of our client.
From the perspective of your client, I certainly understand the argument you're making. Mr. Lawyer, you may argue.
Yes, Your Honor. This issue was addressed by Judge Wheeler in the second McBanoir trial. It was also decided upon by the first DCA in July 2025, when the DCA ruled that the procedure used by Judge Wheeler was entirely correct, and the subpoena in that case was quashed. It was the same issue that the defense raised, where they wanted to cross-examine my client pursuant to a defense subpoena, which conferred no immunity at all on Ms. Adelson. I indicated to the court then, as I will now, that Ms. Adelson will assert her Fifth Amendment rights with respect to any relevant question asked by the defense. So the only result of the defense procedure would be to have the client's daughter take the stand and invoke the Fifth Amendment in front of the jury. And that the court decided by Judge Wheeler that that would be inappropriate. And we would ask the court now to follow the same procedure as Judge Wheeler and follow the same procedure that was upheld by the first DCA just 1 month ago.
Does the defense have any remaining argument on this matter?
Your Honor, respectfully, the issue that was ruled on or concerning the subpoena and quashing the subpoena, Ms. McBanoir did not make that argument below. She did not join the state's motion. So the first DCA did not rule that Judge Wheeler followed the proper procedure. My understanding is that the first DCA held that she had not preserved the argument.
And if I could add one thing further.
We don't have tag team motions. Who's going to finish the argument?
Just a moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, factually, we're in a vastly different circumstance. Our client certainly has information, knows information about her daughter that Ms. McBanoir would not have ever been able to know. And so it's our position that it's premature. The Fifth Amendment question, the courts have ruled should be done on a question-by-question basis.
So your expectation is for me to ask the question, she will make some sort of signal, I'm invoking, the jury is to be removed, and then we do this for the entire defense direct?
No, Your Honor. What I would suggest is that if we get into this posture, and absolutely cross-examination may be sufficient, but if we get into the posture of needing additional, I would suggest that potentially proffering the questions, and then she and her counsel can advise the court if she intends to invoke her privilege at that time.
Mr. Laura, last word, and then I will rule.
Yes, Your Honor. The statement by counsel is patently incorrect and false. This issue was raised by Ms. Carras in the McBanoir trial. She preserved the issue. She made the same arguments that these defense lawyers are making now. It was wholly rejected by Judge Wheeler and wholly rejected by the first DCA. And we respectfully request that Your Honor follow that ruling here. There is simply no question that the defense could ask that is relevant to this matter that Ms. Adelson, my client, would answer. She's invoking her Fifth Amendment.
All right. Having reviewed the applicable authority on this issue and also reviewed the prior transcripts on this matter that were also ruled on by Judge Wheeler concerning this same subject, I am going to adopt a similar ruling. The defense cannot give the witness immunity as it relates to any matters in which she would testify under and could properly invoke the Fifth Amendment privilege. No witness can be called to the stand simply to invoke the Fifth Amendment, as there would be no basis for this witness to take the stand and give testimony on a relevant matter that also could not affect her ability to also endanger her own Fifth Amendment right. I am going to grant the relief that is requested. If we need to revisit this issue for any purpose where the defense believes there is a line of questioning that will not go to the Fifth Amendment privilege of the witness, we will at the appropriate time. But I do believe it is the proper ruling at this point to quash the subpoena. Mr. Laura, I believe that concludes your motion for today. Again, when it's time for your client to testify, you may place your statement on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good day, sir.
To you as well. That concludes the public portion of the hearings for this afternoon. We will take a brief break and then resume with the in-camera matters. The courtroom is to be cleared by all non-parties at this point.
Oh, bummer. Bummer, bummer. Thank you, WCTV, for your excellent, excellent, excellent coverage. I mean, that was a surprise to no one that he's going to adopt a similar ruling. John Lauro with his extremely loud microphone. I'm so lucky that I have a device that can turn things up and down, but I feel sorry for my audience that, can't turn it up and down to this millimeter. Oh my Lord, at a dime, on a dime. Ah. So yeah, so that was pretty much what we thought. Law and Crime just came in the middle of it. Like all of a sudden, I had their feed go. All of a sudden, it just pops on in the middle of it. They missed the beginning of it. Anyway, pretty much what we thought. Not a surprise to anyone. You can't just have someone take the stand. It's too prejudicial to have them plead the fifth in front of a jury because it makes the defendant look guilty because they're attached and makes someone look guilty when you plead the fifth. Can be a technique to be manipulated too for people who just don't want to take the fifth. Who want to take the fifth for other reasons, not guilt. Yeah. So what I'm most interested in, of course, is what they're talking about now, which unfortunately Patty has to clear the room for. Thanks, Patty. I sent you an invite if you want to come on and talk about that very short hearing. I don't know if you do. What they're talking about now is all the in-camera stuff. So in-camera means secret, not recorded meeting between the judge and the lawyers and the defendant. So they're probably talking about this investigation. And that's what I'm most curious about. And I think we're going to find out in opening statements. So again, we're going to have to wait through jury selection to opening statements to find out. I would think Georgia Kappelman would put it in her opening, may not, may make a tactical decision. We may have to wait even longer to find out what this investigation is about. So what has been leaked is it is about Donna's jail daughter, which she called her jail daughter. Just put up her picture again. Jarena Bernhardt. Does everybody see her? I mean, she is just pictures of her from 5 and 6 years ago. She looks so much healthier than now. And Donna was giving her a script to testify for her in a way that would help her case. And she may have been eliciting testimony from other jail inmates. And there's another jailhouse inmate, Patricia Bird, who's going to testify that Donna was asking, this is what's been leaked. It may not be this at all. So if it turns out to be something else, this has all been redacted really from the public's viewing. This is just the parts of the filings that have been made public. I think is going to say similarly. May not. That's just my take on it so far. Could be wrong. But we know that Donna, in earlier hearings, testified herself that she wanted to. So it was a hearing about preserving 2 inmates that she didn't know if she could get them to appear for trial. She wanted to preserve their testimony for trial. And one was, you can see her on the bottom, Cassidy Conroy. And Donna testified that Cassidy Conroy told her that Katie McBanawa said, and this is like crazy, that Katie said, wait until I come back. So Katie McBanawa said, wait until I come back. That she was in Leon County Jail when she said, wait until I come back. I'm going to take care of that family, meaning the Adelson family. Wait until they see what they're going to get, and I'm going to get a reduced sentence. It sounds like Donna's emails to me. All this sounds like Donna. As a screenwriter's daughter, it all sounds like bad, phony dialogue thought up in Donna's head. And I can't believe more people don't talk about her terrible dialogue that she writes. She said, had her plan worked, this is Brittany Purcell, the other jailhouse snitch, she would not be where she is. She would be sitting pretty in Hawaii drinking a fancy drink. It's almost like a little close to Donna's story. If Donna's plan had worked, she would be sitting in Vietnam drinking a fancy drink, the fancy lady drinking a fancy drink. You know, all of this does not sound like the way people talk. It sounds like the way people think people talk that have no ear for dialogue. She made it very clear she was blackmailing Charlie, my son, says Brittany Purcell, said Donna. Donna said Brittany Purcell said that Katie McBanawa said this. It's like crazy. I mean, talk about a crazy thing to think up. Here's Brittany Purcell again, says, Donna said, I guess I should have been prepared. I didn't know I was going to be asked. I'm just a little nervous right now. But she spoke about a tattoo that Kay had and about a tattoo her father had of her with a machine gun. What does that mean? How does that help Donna? Please, someone tell me that she's menacing, that she's a secret extorter. I don't know. Does machine gun equal extortion? It's so dumb. It's so, to use Donna's words, it's stupid. It's stupid. So we had never heard of those jailhouse snitches again. Seems like Donna found her friend Dorina in art class, and let me see if I can pull this up. So oh, hey, it's Patty. Hold on. Hey, Patty, how was the hearing?
Oh. Made for TV.
How so?
Unbelievable. So when we walked in, Harvey walks in ahead. So he sits on the first, there's only 2 benches on either side. And the defense side is short. So Harvey sits in the middle of the first bench behind, right behind Jackie Funeral Home Fulford. And Donna starts crying. So there's that. She tried not to look at Harvey after that because she was crying. Oh, my face is so close to that. Sorry about that. And then it was, the hearing goes on. Harvey is very pursed lipped. He has like a yellow polo shirt on, some like chino slacks and black, I got to turn this fan down, and some black tennis shoes. Real high lift on them because he's short, he's very short. Shorter than I thought. And oh, I was shocked. I'm taller than Harvey.
How tall is Donna, by the way? 5'5"?
She's probably about 5'4".
Okay.
Yeah. So
is he still so thin? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. But his clothes fit today. He reduced the size of his clothing because that suit he was wearing was so heavy and large on him. When he first walked in, he had a baseball hat on, but he took that off in that entryway before you go into Judge Everett's court. So we were in this smaller courtroom, and he was already seated when I walked in, There were several, appear to be federal officers there. Unknown names. I don't know their name. I told the reporter, why don't you go ask them? He asked me like I knew. I don't know them. I was like, go ask them. Mentor lawyer was nice to me. That's interesting.
That's news in itself.
And then when we're leaving, it was very short. And because they're doing the motion to suppress the jailhouse girls' testimony. And when we're leaving, Harvey looks dead at the pool camera. She's a 30-year-old woman who's a genius photographer. She's very good. She turns to her left to get his photo, and he waves his hands in the air. Can you see me like this? On both sides.
Yeah.
She got the picture. And then when we leave, he turned around at her and he goes, did you get a good picture? And she goes, yes, sir, I did. And he goes, very good. And he turned around. Like,
oh, so he's trying to get sympathy.
Argument.
He's getting sympathy he's trying to put out a sympathetic picture.
No.
Oh, you thought it was
that
childish?
Was not sympathetic. Let me see. Oh no, like this on both hands, like jazz hands. Like crazy jazz hands. Yeah. No,
they're so aggressive, that Adelson family.
It was the opposite of that. It was aggressive. And so I'm walking out with her. Her name's Alicia. And I'm walking out with her at the elevator. And Rebecca, another follower of yours, was with me. And she goes, he scared me. And I said, I could tell. Because she turned around and looked at us like, what's he going to do? So he's just asking for a fight. Like, he's just ready for a fight.
There's certainly rumors around Harvey being very aggressive and being a hothead and not being able to control himself. I mean, had he been smarter, he would have done some kind of tearful wave to Donna, and Donna would have done a tearful wave. Try to get public sympathy, try to poison the jury pool. Think smarter, not more aggressive, Well, try. Try to do something helpful.
Well, last time he tried it, they almost jumped him. They were dead serious. Don't do it again. Like they were
no way.
Right in his face.
So what did he do before? I didn't know this. Tell me what did he do?
Okay,
before?
so it was that bail hearing. It was that bail hearing where she was getting on the stand. And that was the first time I saw Harvey. And I looked over and he was in that big blue suit coat. And I was like, that's Harvey. And Rebecca was sitting next to me and she goes, that's not Harvey. I said, that is Harvey. So, because you could tell by the dimple, because he has the dimples. And he turned and looked at me and I was like, oh, he knows who I am. And then at the end, it was like there was a break before she got on the stand and he tried to talk to her and the bailiffs were like in his face and yelled across the courtroom, do not ever do that again. So no, he was told.
Don't wave at her. Don't wave.
Like, that's Harvey. Don't try to communicate with her at all. He can't do anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
That's interesting.
This is not like other courtrooms that we watch. This is a deadly, serious, you will be frog marched out of that courtroom. Everett just plays no games. So, no, he was told. So he sat there completely composed until the judge said everyone who's not a party needs to vacate for the in-camera hearing. And that was that. And then he's like, jazz hands, like acting crazy at her. And it scared her. She jumped. So
what is your...
Why would you do that? Why would you? Your wife's on trial and you're acting like a nut.
Right. I just don't think he can control himself. He can't. It runs in the family. They can't help themselves. He feels so angry at Tallahassee and, listen,
he's enraged.
You listen to those calls. I was telling my audience, I was listening to those calls between Donna and Charlie for so long that I actually got brainwashed by Charlie and Donna and was like, was Was Georgia Kappelman unnecessarily folksy? Did Charlie Adelson have a fair trial? Was everything stacked against them? Was he great on the stand? And I just didn't, I had to go back and watch his testimony to remember why he got convicted. So, they can be very convincing is what I'm saying. If you get into the Adelson, I don't know what you call it. I don't know, loop or echo chamber.
Garbled.
Oh, I'm garbled?
No.
Am I garbled? Do you want to leave and come back?
I can't hear you, Roberta, just in case.
Can anybody hear me?
Trying to put my phone on the middle.
All right, I'm going to remove you and come back. No, and people can hear me. Oh, no. Sorry, Patty. Hold on. I'm just going to remove you and try to figure it out. All right. Let me see if I can figure out Patty. Poor Patty. All right. I hate technical difficulties. As soon as she comes back on, just turn your camera on, Patty, if you can hear me finally. But that's really pretty interesting that Harvey would. I was just going to ask Patty what she thought of what her understanding of this investigation is. So curious. Yeah, I can hear Patty, but Patty can't hear me. And you can hear the Donna song in your sleep. Yeah, I can hear her, but she can't hear me. I'm going to add her back just in case. She's in a car too. Maybe she'll get better coverage. Maybe we'll wait till it gets into better zone. But what her understanding is of the investigation is, I'm curious what she thinks of it. Because there's also been reports that Donna was trying to... Can you hear me now, Patty? No? No? Oh, no.
I'm going to go back out and come back in, okay?
Okay. All right. I'm just going to remove her because she's just stuck. I'm going to kick her out, actually. Kick from the studio. Just to fully clear it. Yeah, she was garbled. Yeah, it is a Verizon commercial, isn't it? But there was also reports that Donna was trying to harm Drina Bernhardt's mother, which we would think would be the recipient of any kind of money or goods that Donna was giving for this testimony. What? Okay, maybe better.
Yeah, now I can
worse?
hear you. I could hear you. I couldn't hear you.
So, Patty, I was going to ask you about what your understanding before you left the hearing, because they cleared the courtroom because of all this in-camera hearing, which probably had to do with this investigation that's been really redacted from public knowledge. What is your understanding of this investigation?
I thought it was about the jailhouse girls, the people who were tattling on Donna. So, yes, in that respect, what do I say? The bugs that were placed on the phone or whatever. But I thought it was about the two specific testimonies, which I think will be allowed.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, I wouldn't imagine. It certainly shows consciousness of guilt if you're looking for to elicit favorable testimony from jailhouse snitches. I'm curious what do you think about the reports that Donna's lawyers were letting her use their Apple Watches and other devices to contact Harvey?
I 100% believe that now. I was 50-50 when I first heard about it, but now with all that shaky stuff, I believe it. I believe it. I believe Josh Zellman let her use. That's why he was so pissed. I believe it.
I believe it too. They act like criminals, these lawyers. And I think she would have picked lawyers that have that criminal, really get down. A lot of defense lawyers do like to act like criminals, but get into the criminal element, go beyond the confines of the rules. I think she would have been looking for lawyers like that. Why pick a lawyer with all your money who was a former judge who got thrown off the bench?
Because nobody would do it.
Really?
Believe Tim
Nobody
Jansen,
wanted to represent
anyone would do
her?
it. I don't believe anyone would take it. I don't believe they would take
Yep.
it.
Now I'm skeptical of
We've
everything that
seen
comes
some
out of
dirty
Tim
people
Jansen's
in this
mouth.
town, and I don't believe anybody would take it.
Really? Is it that unpopular? Because, I mean, we saw lawyers dying to represent, psychopath killer
Well,
Karen
first
Reed.
of all, lost her again.
Oh no, we lost your picture, but I can hear you.
I don't know why it's doing that. But she's cheap. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Patty.
You sound like one of the Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Patty. Go, talk.
Okay. You're coming off weird, but I'm right next to. So. I'm going to get away from the courthouse and I can come back on.
Okay.
If that
All
helps.
right. Let me know. I don't know about Tim Jansen. I'm skeptical of everything he says now. Yeah. Thank you for patience. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tater. I'm skeptical of everything that comes out of Tim Jansen's mouth. Oh, wait, hold on. Here's Patty. Is it better now, Patty?
All right, I'm parked.
Okay.
Sorry, it was
So,
scrambled or something.
Thanks for doing this.
Like, so. Can you hear
Thanks
me?
for doing this. Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks for doing this, Patty. Just go, talk. Tell me anything. Oh, I think this is going to just be too frustrating. Can someone send a message to Patty to just start talking in the chat? Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, I can't.
We can hear you, Patty. Oh, okay. Yeah, Katie's moved. But I just can't believe a lawyer in Tallahassee wouldn't want to take this with all of Donna's money. And it's a high profile trial. Maybe some of the more high profile lawyers don't want to lose, but I can't imagine that she couldn't find anyone, that these are the two lawyers in Tallahassee that would take it. I'm having trouble believing that, but maybe true. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time believing that. Certainly Tim Jansen seemed like he wanted to take it. Seems like I don't know. All right. We're going to try one more time. All right. Can you hear me, Patty? No. Someone tell Patty to just talk. Tell us
I
what
can't
she
hear
knows.
Roberta if she's talking.
I am talking. Just tell us what you know, Patty. Maybe she'll look at her phone in the. I'll wait till she talks over me. Maybe she'll look at the chat and I will communicate like. Yeah, Patty looks very thin. Congratulations on losing all that weight. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll send her a private chat. That's what I'll do. Okay, guys, thanks for your patience. Okay, so I just sent her a private chat. Let's see if that works. I know it's hard when you're on the fly. Yeah, right. STS. Yeah. So.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I just keep saying I'm losing the browser connection, which is understandable because I'm underneath a very large, beautiful on Park Avenue. So what I was saying is, I just think no one wanted the case. I think that's why it took them so long. That's why they hired a DUI attorney, and that's Josh Selman. I can't find any large cases that he was taking, except for the guy who tried to blow up Springtime Tallahassee Parade. He's a former pharmacist. And I know the family of the girl he was talking, so I know a little bit more about that case. That's the only two big cases I've seen him take. And then, of course, Jackie Fulford is apparently as crooked as the day because she lost my cancer.
Yeah, now you're all garbled.
An incompetent attorney appeal, because that's probably what it's meant to.
This is like a comedy of errors, isn't it? We're just going to have to remove Patty. Just wait, because this is just like a comedy of errors. I'm losing my patience. How are we doing? I'm surprised I still have any audience. Or maybe this is fascinating for people. Because she actually has a lot to, yeah, I can hear consonants without the vowels. Yeah. You can hear perfectly, Paul? Come on. Come on. Is it some kind of a foreign language? Okay. Not far. Okay. She's going to contact us from come back. We'll stay from home. From home. We will wait. We'll wait. We'll wait for Patty. She's going to go home. We'll wait for her. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. And thanks for your patience. Hold on one second. I just got to let my cat out. Hold on one sec. Okay, there. The little monster was so sweet, sitting like right next to me through the whole show, just sleeping. And then he wakes up and he wants to go out immediately. So is it retrograde, Mercury in retrograde? Yeah, she's gonna contact us from home, so that's gonna be a little bit better. But yeah, Harvey's response, do you remember the rumors that Harvey said, went up and got really aggressive with people, the nobody F's with the Adelson family, that kind of thing. I used to remember these stories much better years ago. But if you listen to the wiretaps, you can hear Charlie and Donna talk about his hot-headedness, and Dad's going out, he's going to work. And I mean, I think he obviously knew about it, because we know we have the Japanese restaurant tape of Charlie and Harvey talking. And if Charlie's saying there's a camera in that bag filming us, Harvey would be like, why? What? Why would they ever want to film us from a secret camera? He seemed to know what was going on. I mean, they did things as a family. They're all a unit. You can't, besides Robert, I'm talking about, of course. And that's testimony. I mean, the testimony I'm really looking forward to hearing is Robert's testimony. Jeffrey Lacasse, I always enjoy his testimony. Katie McBano, I'm wondering if she has something more to tell us this time around. I mean, when is she going to get it through her thick head that she's got to say everything she knows to really get the kind of favors that she wants from the state? I mean, that pro offer, I understand she wants to minimize, as all criminals do, they want to minimize their culpability in the crime. But she knows much more than she's saying. And I think the Adelsons did a number on her with brainwashing her and telling her that over and over again. We only heard it once, if we only heard Charlie on the Dolce Vita tape giving the murder is your first crime. No? Curious that Ryan Fitzpatrick said that after this murder that Charlie's business went way down and he was doing all these sounds like illegal side hustles. I don't know, maybe not. To me, they sound illegal to make money. So it wasn't good for business. Everything, the whole reason that they did this was to make everything better for them. Sure, they got the kids. It's really like the devil's bargain. They're, a whole host of things got worse. Their business. I think Donna was in a constant state of paranoia, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Charlie was living in the same kind of paranoia with guns surrounding his home and constantly worrying he was going to get arrested. I mean, I was looking at that arrest again, and you can see a little bit of relief, like it's finally happened when Donna gets arrested. I know she's medicated, but if you watch her get arrested, the minute she gets arrested, it's like, first of all, it's not the reaction of an innocent person. Like, what am I getting arrested for? What? Get your hands off me. I'm going to Vietnam. I don't know what you thought I did, but you got the wrong lady, mister. Something like that. Just trying to think of how an innocent person would react. Not like this. Let me see. Let's watch a little bit of it.
You have an ID? Oh, okay. Yeah. You're under arrest for I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to? Because my attorney said not to. Why do I have to give it to you? This is evidence. She's under arrest. I have to go with. I have to go.
Right? There's disappointment, but not panic. I just can't imagine being on that jetway. One step, a couple steps away from total freedom from the murder that you did. Not that I wish her to get away, but I'm just trying to put myself in Donna Adelson's place and Harvey's. And you're talking to people, you're so nervous that you're going to get arrested going on this plane, and everything, the tickets, everything, you're all the way almost there. And then, and the jetway you think you're home free. I mean, you really wouldn't feel good until the plane took off and you arrived safely, right? Because they could have, I mean, chances are they're not going to arrest you in Vietnam, but there's a chance till you're, in Vietnam in the hotel. But boy, just gonna. So, can you imagine? But I think that I've just been surprised that Donna, after her initial stripping off, which seems to be the way she greets all jails, she seemed to relax. Right? And she seemed to actually be pretty happy in jail, reading the jailhouse handbook and knowing all the rules. I love that, Margaret. That's my favorite too. That's my favorite part too. Saying she doesn't need handcuffs. She's not going anywhere. As she's fleeing, she's literally going somewhere. She's literally, that's my favorite too, Margaret. My favorite too. I love that. So let's see. Let's check in on this is the longest, shortest hearing in the history of the world. Let's just check in. Will Donna Adelson hire a jury consultant? So it's a kind of an iffy proposition, 66-34. I don't think she's going to hire Josh Dubin, even though she assured Charlie he's the best. I think for now he's been forever tainted with the stink of Charlie's trial. And I'm sure he's off trying to free some scary, psychopathic, very dangerous killer from prison. I mean, do you guys know about Josh Dubin, who went on the Joe Rogan show with this, what he called a miracle of rehabilitation? And the guy went and I think it was less than a month later, the guy who was a miracle of rehabilitation was giving around speeches about how to change yourself in prison. They had worked to get this guy out of prison, saying his sentence of 50 years was way too much. What happened was that this guy tried to murder someone and got a light sentence. And then the judge said, if you come up in front of me again, I'm going to throw the book at you. And he did it again. And that's why he got the book thrown at him. And he had all these organizations helping him with Josh Dubin, getting him out, saying his sentence was, systematic racism, et cetera, signs of systematic racism and how unfair our justice system is. But you have to know exactly the whole history. And that's what they always leave out. And that guy, so not only did he murder his friend, the people it was in the Bronx, they heard a guy go, please, no, I have kids. He dismembered the body. Part of the body was found in his apartment and part of it was found in the victim's apartment. And that was the miracle. He spent an hour on Joe Rogan talking about the miracle of rehabilitation this guy was. But, people were skeptical of that guy because they said he was guilty. But no one's skeptical of no one looks into the actual cases of these people. Josh Dubin is actually freed. And I'm sure it would be a jaw-dropping shocker. So I'm sure one is guiltier than the next. That's just been my experience. It would be like a miracle if one of the people that Josh Dubin actually got out of prison was actually innocent. So this guy's name was Sheldon Johnson. Very unpopular Joe Rogan episode, and then Joe Rogan got on and laughed about it. So that was the guy that got him out. One of the guys that got him out, Josh Dubin. He's also an ambassador for the Innocence Project. He was Charlie Adelson's jury consultant, and it comes with a high price tag. Let me see if I can find a video of him while we're waiting for Patty to get back. Let me see if I can find a video. I think Murder by Maestro has it on his channel, Josh Dubin, talking about here it is. Okay, yeah, he does. So this is what Charlie Adelson's jury selection looked like. Maestro was nice enough to fix the sound. So I'm going to skip through. Georgia's very interesting. She's so relatable and likable to go to Josh Dubin. Hey, where is Josh Dubin? Is this all Georgia? Oh, this is Georgia Kappelman's Wadier. Hold on one second. Please hold, because I know he has the other one up here too. Maybe you could put it into... Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. He split it into parts. Where is Maestro? Okay, so here it is. This is part 3. This is what he...
Now, defense attorneys are asking potential jurors questions ahead of seating a jury in the trial of Charlie Adelson. I'm Kendall Brandt, live at the Leon County Courthouse, where just moments ago, defense attorney Josh Dubin asked those potential jurors to take a look at his client, Charlie Adelson. The final round of jury selection is pausing for tonight and will wrap up tomorrow. As the first round of questioning finished, Adelson's defense attorney, Josh Dubin, argued that the trial should be moved due to public knowledge in Leon County about the case. Judge Everett denied that motion, saying plenty of the potential jurors did not know of the murder case. That murder case, the killing of FSU law professor Dan Markel. Adelson is on trial for the murder of Markel, who was his ex-brother-in-law. The final round of questioning of those jurors began.
Hey, Patty, you're home. I'm glad to have
sorry
you.
about that. I don't know why that. I don't know. I don't understand everything about StreamYard for sure. So.
I was shocked that my audience stuck around. They're very patient. So,
are they still here?
Yeah, we still got it.
Oh, okay.
Still listen. Yeah.
Oh, now I can see it. No, I had to go to comments. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so what do you want me to start with? It's a mess. It was funny as hell.
So I'm curious. So I'm curious what your understanding is of this investigation that they went in camera, meaning in secret. They kicked out anybody not related to the case, like you, and Harvey. It was Harvey and Harvey
yeah,
too. So what is it? What do you think it's about? Exactly. I mean, how deep do you think it goes? And
they're trying to
what do you think, Donna?
suppress the testimony, from what I know, from being outside in the landing area outside of that little courtroom. They're trying to suppress the testimony of the two, quote, as they're called, jailhouse snitches. So that's what I believe is happening.
Do you think Donna's going to get a jury consultant like Charlie Adelson had?
No,
I was just
there's
showing
no
Josh Dubin.
there's no addition to the docket. At this point, Dubin had already been Dubin had already been added to Charlie's docket. So no, I don't think so.
Right. Yeah. Josh Dubin, total sleazoid.
Well, see, people are saying was
my
Harvey
opinion.
Yes, this is going to be under seal. We're not going to know until we know. So.
Yeah. So do you think Georgia's going to bring it up in her opening statements?
If it's allowed to come in, yeah. If it's not, she won't. They're only supposed to get a half hour apiece for opening statements, which I thought would be longer, but that's it.
Oh wow. So I'm just shocked that, I would be shocked if it wasn't allowed in. Or would you be? I mean, do you think it won't be allowed in?
It'll be allowed in. That's why they had Jason Newland was sitting in okay, so can I describe the courtroom for a minute? So it's two pews, like I'm at church, 2 benches on the right side, and then 3 short ones on the left side. So I had to think about it. There's actually 3, but they're probably only 6 feet long, where ours are like 10 feet on the right side. So there is, like you see in any courtroom, there's like a knee wall or a half wooden wall behind the defense table. And then Harvey was sitting dead center. So he was in a mood that no one was going to try and sit next to him. You know what I'm saying? There were 2 women outside of the courtroom because they didn't open up the courtroom till right at 1:30. Like it was really fast. And 2 women, I probably were the paralegals to Josh Selman, is my guess. And they didn't introduce themselves. Mentor lawyer was standing next to me. And then Jeff Burlew, the reporter for the Democrat, was standing kind of in front of me. And I was trying to get a visual of Harvey. He had a baseball cap on. Did he take his baseball cap off? And he had taken it off. So he was in that little ante room in front of the doors that opened to the courtroom because he didn't want us hearing him. So he walked into that area. And Fulford and Zellman and these 2 ladies were there with him. Fine. And then media was kind of stood off. And then they opened the courtroom and it was like cattle. It was like, because it was so late. Judge didn't open the doors till like 1:28. So that's why you didn't have a stream right away, because the door wasn't open for them to get set up. Court TV people weren't open to get set up. Like the court TV guy was right in front of me. We'll call him Charlie. I don't know his real name, but he has a Facebook page called Charlie H. Cat for his cat. So I'm going to call him Charlie from now on. But he, so he was right in front of me with his little cart with all of his equipment, and they had to they had to roll it. So I go in past Jason Newland was sitting. So I went back him and sat in the corner where I like to sit. He scooted out, and Rebecca, follower, sat next to me. And then another reporter from WTXL was sitting on the opposite of her, an older woman. And then in front was Maya Sargent. She's a beautiful redhead in a great green dress. Like, she looks fabulous. She was right in front. So she was running the pool camera, and she couldn't even get the cables in before the judge started. So Isaac, the media guy, reached behind me. He's like, "Can I get behind you?" "Yeah, so you can get your cables." And then I'm unraveling the cables so that she can plug in. That's how fast it was. But the judge was already seated. Like, I didn't even stand to rise.
Wow.
So they started immediately. John Lauro, you heard it was on Zoom loud, but to me, I was grateful to hear it, because in these courtrooms, you don't always hear the Zoom very well. And he went on about, she's pleading the 5th. No shit, Sherlock. Which just proves she's guilty. I mean, you don't need to plead the 5th when you're innocent.
Right.
There's I'm going to try and sit like Harvey did. Like, let me see. This is Harvey's face. He was pursed. Like, he's just pissed. I think he's just a pissed off man, to be honest with you. And then they did their thing. Of course, it was squashed, which we all kind of thought, because the judge isn't going to go question by question. Are you pleading the 5th? Get the jury out. That's not happening. And then we were told to leave. And when we were told to leave, this is what Harvey did. Now that I can say it, goes to that girl, scared her. It made her jump. She didn't know what he was going to do to her.
That's the point, is to scare them, right?
Right.
I mean, they're known as the murderer family.
A military, so he does an about face, looks at her square in the eye, and goes like that, and she got it dead to rights. She got the picture.
Can you imagine that this guy was your dentist? You know, he broke a guy's jaw. Harvey Adelson doing dental work. I mean, it just just adds to what I've already know about him, that he's a hothead and that he has he's sitting on a volcano of anger.
I turned and I was like, I'm a mom, so I'm like, I like the girl. She's a fabulous photographer. She's beyond talented for this town. Like, she's really talented. And I thought, she turned and looked at us like she was scared. And so we're all walking out together. Rebecca was with me, and she's had issues at her sorority house that she's monitored, so I don't know if she can come on. But then we're walking to the elevator, and she shows me the picture. I was like, I hope you publish that, because he looked insane. I mean, you really. I know who sat. So it was Rebecca, and once that one guy got moved, James came in and sat. James, mentor lawyer, came in and sat next to Rebecca. So we all saw him do it.
He must
on trial, and you're making a scene. It's just not a good look.
What do you think about Harvey showing up for Donna's hearings? And it sounds like he's going to show up for the trial, but not Charlie's. What do you think about that?
He loves his wife more than he loved his kids.
Doesn't that sound like that? That he loves his wife more than his kids? And I hear that he can't function very well without her, that she was the one who was really organizing things and on top of things. And he's kind of, it's one of those families where the mom runs the show. That's
my husband was married to a Jewish girl for a long time. She's since passed. But that's how, they didn't get along because that's the way it was supposed to be, the culture. And my husband's very stubborn and very Greek, and he wasn't having it. He barely has it with me, and he's not in a position to really argue with me right now. But yeah, and even his in-laws, it was the mother-in-law and the dad just wrote the checks. And I believe Harvey wrote the checks, and I believe he knew about writing the checks. So that's just my opinion.
My grandmother was. I mean, I wasn't raised Jewish, but I'm Jewish. My 3/4 Jewish. My mother's half Jewish. My grandmother's like that, and my friend who's Black said to me, because my grandmother went into a retirement community, she was having a lot of cultural shock, and she said to me, it's the Black mothers and the Jewish mothers that they can't, that are hard to deal with, or that, they're not used to dealing with. They have a mind of their own. So there's, there is a tradition of strong women.
I worked in a Jewish nursing home in Harrisburg, where I grew up. And to me, it was entertaining. Like, I just enjoyed it, because I think I just enjoyed the food the most, but I just enjoyed that culture and seeing how these women got away with what they got away with. I really enjoyed it. But I think that's been his life, is whatever she wants, she gets. And now he cannot fix it.
Was the food kosher or kosher style, Patty?
It was kosher nursing home. It was a nursing home, so it wasn't full kosher, no. There were Anglicans in the nursing home too. It was very well run, so it was very well run.
Nice.
Very good care of their own.
Very nice. Yeah. So I mean, what are you looking forward most to this trial?
Watching Harvey. I was like, I'm gonna keep my eyes on Harvey. The rest is gonna be like Pete and repeat. Oh, I want to be in a position where I can watch Harvey. I do. He's gonna
I hope
He's going to
yeah, I'm
lose
sure
his
he's going to be very animated.
He's not going to make it. He's not. It was one thing
I mean,
the Lizzy did, but
so we know that Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson, that they were in an echo chamber, that Charlie Adelson was doing great during his testimony. And frankly, we all thought when Charlie Adelson took the stand that he was going to get tripped up by Georgia Kappelman, but we didn't realize that he had been studying the evidence and tailoring his story to the evidence and learning it backwards and forwards, which also was not a good thing for him because it looked like he had done exactly what he'd done, tailored his story to the evidence. And so he came off as arrogant and unlikable, though he didn't get tripped up too much by Georgia Kappelman. There weren't any Perry Mason moments where he, admitted guilt or something was really shocking. We thought maybe we might have some of those. But do you think, so my question is kind of, sorry to go kind of all the way around to come back a short distance, but do you think that Donna and Harvey are having similar conversations and telling themselves that Donna's going to get off and that Donna has the best representation and that Tallahassee is finally going to get off in Adelson?
Yeah. And I believe that her attorneys help her with that. I believe they're telling her the same thing. How else do you keep her under control? If you didn't, she would be losing. I mean, she was teary when we walked in. I didn't see it. Rebecca saw it and the pool camera saw it, that she was weepy because she saw Harvey, not on a video, right? They only do that kind of Zoom thing at these jails. So she saw him in person. She probably smell him, whatever. But I think that's the only way to keep her under control. She is an emotional.
Yeah, they must have, right. They still don't have visits at Leon County. Charlie talks about that in he says no visits. Was that just because of COVID or was
it's COVID, but then it was easier. There's a lot less altercation. There was a lot less or no bringing in paraphernalia, contraband. So I think that's why.
But I mean, do you think Robert Adelson is going to testify?
I do.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Reason why they're hot. They're hot. So James, I think he was like, James, mentor lawyer, James, he came up in the elevator right before Harvey. So Harvey, he got a picture of him down in the lobby area where you go through the metal detectors. He got a picture of him down there.
Good for him. Always resourceful. Good for him.
He will.
And
he will be at the trial tomorrow. He will be at the trial.
Good. I mean, I'm sure Donna's lawyers have told her that it would be good for her to have family in the gallery. I mean, that's something that the defense lawyers tell their clients. They have friends or family. It's good to have supporters.
I have a question about jury duty, if people recall from last time. I didn't go, which I've been back and forth about going anyway. But will Harvey be allowed in the courtroom while their jury duties being taken?
Sure.
Oh, that is a problem waiting to happen. I know they're going to have triple the number of bailiffs, and they're going to need it, is my guess. I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating at all. They're going to have one standing right next to him. Because when those jurors start getting questioned, I wouldn't want to be on that jury.
My audience, I would have thought that Donna, I'm going to end this poll, would have thought she would have hired a jury consultant too, but I guess she's trying to save money on this trial. Maybe she's going to put her money in the appeal. I don't know.
Well, they've already hired the appellate attorney, so.
Who are they? I don't know that. I didn't know that. Tell me.
I don't know. I just heard it, that they've already hired.
So maybe that's the plan, is that she thinks that she's going to lose this trial and she's going to put her money in the appeal.
If I can find it, I'll get it to you. I remember a name. I just don't remember the name. Someone saying, will there be 2 empty rows behind Donna plus Harvey? No, they're going to put the defense side on that side, I think. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll know when we get there.
What, they're going to move for the trial so the they're gonna, so that the defense is gonna be where the,
No.
what do you
They
mean?
wanted, because Jackie Fulford is all but blind, she says, and they don't make privacy screens for your laptops. She was really worried about media seeing her screen.
I saw that, I played that. Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. Yeah.
So I remember last time with Rashbaum, 2 rows behind the defense. Now there's a big distance between those rows. I mean, there's probably 10, 11, 12 feet between that first bench and the defense table. But there apparently those 2 rows were supposed to be left vacant, but I think they're going to put the family there. It was just the defense trying to keep as many people out of the gallery as possible. I'm on the media list, so I'm going in.
Oh, excellent. Good. Excellent. And wait, oh, so they're going to clear. Yeah, they did that. They do that in federal trials too. Like they'll keep a row clear for the feds and stuff. I mean, yeah. I'm just having a flashback to, it's a terrible thing to be scared in a courtroom. It's like being in someone's living room. It's like you're way up close with someone and you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're going to follow you home or whatever. I'm just talking about a Harvey. I had an experience with Alan Dershowitz at a Epstein related hearing. This is when he was still alive. I went to, and Alan Dershowitz is there, and he is a frightening human being, very dark. And, he's just putting out his usual nonsense. He had nothing to do with Epstein, even though he made Epstein's great deal in Florida, for him. He negotiated that for him, and it was Epstein's lawyer. He had nothing to do with Epstein at all, and that all these allegations by victims are totally untrue. Anyway, Patty, let's back to Donna. What do you think her best shot is? I mean, what do you think her defense is going to be? And what would you do if you were her lawyer as far as a defense?
If her best shot is she sits on her butt and doesn't speak. And that's not even a good shot.
What do you think I think she's going to testify. I've been saying that before. And her lawyer says she's going to testify. I mean, if you get into Donna's head, she's a control freak. She cannot sit back and let her lawyers do it, even when it's in her best interest. It's that same kind of impulsiveness. She thinks she's the smartest person in the room. She knows better. And she has to testify. She has to control it in some way. And she thinks we've seen, I'll show you. I was going over, just talking about the history of prison snitches in this case. And when Donna tried to preserve the testimony of Brittany Purcell and Cassidy Conroy, and she was saying that here, she said, wait, look at some of this dialogue that Donna's written for them. Had her plan worked, she would not be where she is. She would be sitting pretty in Hawaii, drinking fancy drink, all this stuff. Her dialogue is so bad. Anybody who's a prison snitch taking dialogue from Donna is a dope. No one is going to believe you. It is the worst dialogue ever. Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's so
It is funny though. Who would write that? Who would think that someone would talk like that?
This whole thing it's like a man died. He's slaughtered in his garage, but the rest of it, this Donna Adelson is absolutely entertaining. You can't write a script like this. You cannot. I would never have thought Harvey would have been that stupid to turn around and do that to that pool photographer.
No, and they have no sense of how to kind of finesse their public persona. Remember when Charlie was being filmed? I've been still trying to look for this footage. I just remember a while back, there was a short film, and I think it was him and June, but maybe I'm wrong, of him in scrubs, and he's like, no comment, but there's ways to say no comment, and there's a body language that you can adopt that doesn't scream guilt and that you're running from a photographer. They just don't have any sense of how to finesse their image, and everything they've done. So much of the evidence against Donna is things that she's created for herself, fleeing, eliciting prison snitches, talking on the phone, even though she's telling Charlie not to talk on the phone. She'll talk to him when he gets there. She finally gives in to him and they talk on the phone. Her stupid undercover call. I mean, let's listen to that together, shall we, Patty? The undercover call. I mean, that's always a great one if you have a second.
I do all the time.
Okay, let me see. I thought wait, hold on one second. I pulled it up beforehand, but I've since moved on to other things since this. So hold on one hot minute and let me pull it up because I had it going. Let me go to my history. Okay. Okay, here we go. One momento. I mean, listen to this undercover call. I mean, talk about, I just had to get my grandchildren. Whatever.
This is Mrs. Adelson. Is this Sammy? Okay, my grandchildren had my phone before, so I'm Mrs. Adelson.
Do you think he was purposely saying her name wrong, Patty?
No.
Okay.
It may not have been pronounced to him, so it could have been an honest mistake. I don't know.
I always wondered that, you know.
I had my phone before, so that's, and I just saw that you called.
Oh, okay. You left a message on my voicemail.
Right, I did.
Yeah.
This is my problem. You approached me on Horton Road. You handed me an article from the newspaper about my ex-son-in-law. You told me I need to call you and help your friend who was in prison. Now, at the time you did that, I didn't understand what you were talking about. I didn't call you back. Then you mailed me a threatening letter. Then you send me a text message to my phone that says I'm not taking you seriously. So I am taking you seriously. And I really want you to listen to me. I have to tell you, I mean, this is important. I have been so stressed out. I have spoken to 10 or 12 people who are close friends of mine, telling them about this and basically picking their brains and asking them what I should do, because I don't know your friend who is in jail. You mentioned a name. I don't even know his name. I never spoke to him. I don't know what he looks like. I've never met him.
I've just been asking my friends at the country club, what should I do? I'm being asked for $5,000 to take care of someone in jail. And they think that maybe you have Mrs. Adelson, that there might be another Donna Adelson who's ordered a murder for hire of my son-in-law.
Can you go back like 10 seconds on that?
Sure.
Say, I never knew. She says, I never knew.
I have to tell you, I mean, this is important. I have been so stressed out. I have spoken to 10 or 12 people who are close friends of mine, telling them about this and basically picking their brains and asking them what I should do, because I don't know your friend who is in jail. You mentioned a name. I don't even know his name. I never spoke to him. I don't know what he looks like. I've never met him. I'm sorry your friend's in jail, but I don't know what that has to do with me.
You know exactly what it has to do with. You know exactly what. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me. You just got to listen to me.
I mean, you'd be so upset if you were accused of doing a murder that you weren't involved with. Normal people have a reaction, a visceral reaction to being accused of being a murderer. That's not like, oh no, not me. You got the wrong person. Ask Sally down the street. You'd be so enraged. I'm not a murderer. What? You got to be out of your mind, you know? But, and also, what kind of a Latin King gang member says, I'm listening, but he couldn't be too menacing. I get it.
Well, part
Laura
of her
Blake says, as asking you, go ahead.
I said part of her
Go ahead.
defense through this trial is to be that she was so scared. There was no way. She was just petrified of him. She doesn't sound like a scared woman. She's identifying herself by name to a thug, a perceived thug. But why would you be like, hey, this is Patty. Hey, sir, this is Patty Wilson. Does that? Who does it? I asked 12
And
of my
another good point.
and they don't know who it is.
And right, so and you would hope that they hadn't seen you with your grandchildren, right? They meet before she picks up the grandchildren. But why let them this thug know that you have young children that they might be able to harm nearby? Why would you want to put them out? Have you mentioned that before? I've just thought of it.
Yeah,
I was like, why would you want to bring
my
that up?
daughter? I would never be able to see my grandchildren again. Like, it would not even be a question. And rightfully so. You just walk your kids back in front of a guy who threatened you and bullied you, whatever the word is, like bribed you. No, dude, like you're just like, let me just run up in there and get my grandbabies.
Right. But I know, but then she's mentioning them again. I mean, what if he hadn't seen her pick up her kids? You know, she's mentioning them again on the phone, and she had to get the phone from her grandkids. Obviously, the point is to say that I'm a kindly old grandmother. She's using the grandmother role to say that she's the type of person who wouldn't do this. But on another line, why would you bring in your kids? I have grandkids that you might be able to harm if I don't give you the money you want. You might be able to kidnap them or threaten them. I mean, they used to read us a book called Prisoners at the Kitchen Table, great children's book, but I used to have nightmares about that children's books, set 70s and 80s child rearing. You know, I mean, kidnapping used to be much more common than I guess it is now. But I mean, they could have kidnapped and held them for ransom. But she's bringing them into the conversation. Another, so Laura is asking, do you think that Harvey will be able to see Charlie in jail? You know a lot more about Leon County than I do. What are your?
It would be a Zoom call, and so. Roberta's saying that because I used to work as a nurse at Leon County Jail, and then I live here. So it would only be a Zoom with Charlie. Did you see him look like a hot mess? I got it. Did you see him through TSA? Did you see it, Roberta?
I did. I didn't think he looked that bad, frankly.
Oh, I thought so.
I'm the only one. I know I'm in the minority. I really expected him to look older and worse. And you know, when he had his head shaved, I thought he looked a lot more scary and prison worn than he looked now. He's got his hair, he's got graying beard. He looks worn. He didn't look awake and well rested like he'd been in a spa, but he didn't look like he aged 50 years. He looked pretty good for being in prison for a year, I thought. But
his father will not be able to see him in person. It will only be through Zoom if he goes to the jail for visiting days. And then they may not let him because he's a witness, right? So I don't know if they will even let him while this trial is going on. I doubt he will be allowed to have visitors these 2-3 weeks, just for security purposes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. I mean the call just degenerates from there. You get the idea. I mean, to give you everybody a preview, it's not me. She's begging, but you can hear her. And I think this is something you were about to talk about, Patty, which is that she takes control of that call. I want you to listen to me. You know, she's telling a thug to sit down and shut up, and she's going to talk and he's going to listen. I mean, that's a hard row to hoe when you're saying that you're scared. Yeah, very, very hard.
I don't see, if I'm scared, I'm not going to be. You get a little hesitant when you're scared, right? She doesn't. It's not funny. Just not. She's not hesitant about talking to this guy.
Right. I mean, and he sent her pretty threatening. I think I have one of the messages is this up here. The text read, Jimmy sent a text, so you don't take me serious. You think I'm playing. You have some person call to see me if I'm for real. If you think what Katie's baby's daddy did for you can't come back, you're effing crazy. I want the money now or I'm going after the 100K. And all this talk about, I mean, this is the real problem in Charlie's defense, and it will be a problem in Donna's defense, is that they're so reluctant to spend the 5K, but Charlie just opens his safe to Katie McBanawa with almost no questions about who these people are or not talking to them or anything. Just opens up his safe and then gets put on a payment plan, which is my favorite part of the story. A very reasonable payment plan I hear the Latin Kings get. I hear they're actually doing, investments. You can invest with them. They give a very good return on your investment. CDs.
Like
Latin Kings are all over this. They're all over the financial futures. Vicky Moore is asking me, Roberta, does Robert visit Charlie or Donna? No, I don't think so. No, I wouldn't think so. But I haven't seen. Have you seen Donna's jailhouse visitors list? I don't think any of that has been released, has it?
I haven't even tried. It's just not even worth my time.
What do you think
it's going to be Harvey?
What do you think the jailhouse calls are like between Donna? I mean, those will be a treat after the trial when they get released. What do you think they're going to be like?
I can't wait. It's going to be like they have me in the turtle suit again. I know it's not a turtle suit. I know. But I'm like, they're going to have me in. I'm sorry.
People are stupid. They're stupid. They're so stupid here. That's what they're going to be like.
I wonder if she badmouthed Wendy, because she should. That's what I'm waiting for. At what point does Harvey start turning on Wendy? Because I think if anybody turns on Wendy, it will be Harvey.
Why do you think that?
Because she's about to put her mother under. She is. She has no choice.
Can we say that Donna has done remarkably well in jail for all the predictions that she was going to die and she wasn't going to make it and she would be emaciated and I always said she's a cockroach and she'll do well in jail. I think she likes being around other criminally minded people too. I think these are her peeps.
But she hasn't seen Wendy in person for years.
Yeah. But I don't think they will ever turn on each other because they can never admit guilt. This is a family that can never admit guilt. I mean, I was talking about Jesse Smollett he has another documentary. I mean, I say in quotes, I call it a Netflix TV show. I don't know, proclaiming his innocence and that there were white men there that night in the nor'easter. I mean, they're trying to put out doubt on Jesse Smollett's overturned conviction in Chicago. So, and he's not admitting guilt. I mean, that guy, his attackers, i.e. friends, have said from beginning to end how they did it, why they did it. They've shown the check. I mean, he's caught dead to rights and he's still ditto the Adelsons, very much in the line. I don't think they'll ever, to turn on each other, they would have to admit their own culpability in the murder, and that's just never going to happen. Do you think Katie's going to offer a better pro offer than what she's offered?
No, I think Harvey's going to lose his shit. I think Harvey is going to lose his mind, and I say this because he already lost his mind today. Like a normal man with normal mental health does not do what he did. They just don't do it.
I
He
heard,
just
yeah, I heard that he was not well. I mean, I heard that after Charlie's
doesn't
conviction,
look
he took it
well,
very hard.
but he stands there like he was on a mission. He was not happy today. Like typical guy, or you don't see facial expressions with the Markels, and they lost their child. What Harvey was doing today with his pursed lips, like he was sucking all the lemons, is not going to help her. And he does look menacing. And I just think when Wendy comes up and she has to tell, I don't know that Harvey watched all of that, right? We don't know that Harvey watched those previous trials. We know Donna did. But when he sees his daughter up there trying to finagle around her mother, this isn't Charlie, it's her mother's decisions. It's going to be very interesting to see how he reacts. That's what I'm there for. I'm going to watch Harvey. Remember, other people wanted to watch the jury. Patty's watching Harvey.
Well, I'm glad you are, but you know, it goes into what I've been saying about the family lacking maturity. So a more mature person would say, okay, so the judge has said that I have to stay in Tallahassee. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to take vacations. I'm going to go to Miami, or I'm going to make a better plan to go to Miami when I can. And I'm just going to make the best of my situation until the kids, or until Dan Markel might get a different job and we move somewhere else, or until things change. Either the kids go to college, or, you know, are out of my care, or Dan Markel gets a different job. I am going to make the best of it. Instead, they all decided that murder would be the best way, because their way is the only way. It's a kind of immaturity. And today and also a kind of entitlement. Like, how dare Donna be brought up on charges that they should be allowed to murder people, that they are of the elite class, they worked harder than everyone else. That's what they tell themselves, becoming dentists, and they work hard. We heard Charlie say this repeatedly in his trial. I work hard for my money. I work hard for my money. Like, he's the only person who works hard in the United States of America. And that's the only way to work hard, is by being a doctor or a lawyer or some other elite profession, right? Like, blue collar workers are working hard in factories, et cetera, right? I work hard for my money. I'm smarter. I did better. I got where I was because I just worked harder, and I deserve not to be brought up on charges for murder. And Dan Markel, if anybody knew Dan Markel, he was so horrible, they would have done the same thing we would. That's their mindset. I'm not saying that's right. Please don't misunderstand me or quote me out of context. What I'm saying is, this is the Adelson mindset. So when we see Harvey react like that in court, that's a juvenile action, no? I mean, that's the action of someone who lacks maturity and lacks impulse control too. That's another thing they lack.
It's that emotional maturity, that E, we're supposed to know that emotional IQ, or however they describe it. He has none. To do that to a 30-year-old person who's doing her job and try to intimidate her that way, and then say something to her again as she's leaving the courtroom, is a total lack of self-awareness about where the hell you are. And it goes to Donna being told that she may lose the option to see the boys, remember, because of her nasty letters and calling them names, calling Dan names to those kids. And that's all going to come out forcefully. That was like a little subtle thing, I think, of Charlie's thing. It was a reason, but they've really tried to get that squashed, and it's coming in. She's screwed. Because when a jury hears that, there's going to be a problem. Like, oh, the timing of this. So you were going to court to get her right. Her grandparents don't have rights. I am one. So you're going to get visitation with her, or it's going to have to be supervised, I believe is the way it was. And then you have the affidavit with Wendy. But I think they're really going to focus on her not having access to those boys was a catalyst, as well as Wendy being, I mean, she's the deciding factor. I mean, she could have put her mother out. She's clearly ignored her mother for the last 2+ years. So I think
Right.
Donna's.
Do you think Wendy's going to get indicted? I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
I really believe it. I do. I'm with Stephen Webster, who was Dan Markel's last attorney, and he's an attorney here in town, and he's very passionate about Wendy being indicted. So if he has any sway or his words come to God's ears, I think she will be indicted. I do believe. I think there's more than enough evidence. I think they got burned with Catherine and Sigfredo being tried together the first time. They got her the second time, and they're just doing their positioning. You know, every conviction is just a little bit more Wendy. And Wendy, I think this time, I predict any shell that she has, Georgia will go a little harder at her. I think she's screwed. Morgan Honeycutt isn't going to keep her safe there. And I'm going into the bathroom if Morgan Honeycutt tries to walk the bathroom. Like I'm talking to people about that today. She's like, this isn't Wendy's private John. She's not like Donny Osmond or something. We're all going there. Okay.
There's Morgan Honeycutt with Wendy for those. That's her. What is it? It's their support person, her emotional support person.
Emotional support dog. I'll call her
Wendy. Bulldog, right? So Vicky Moore was asking a question I've never considered. Does Donna Adelson get Social Security if she's convicted?
They do.
Yeah, that would make sense. That they do take away your right to vote. And Taterbug wants to clarify today. What was can you explain the ruling today? What was decided and what it's about?
Okay, so what had happened in my memory was the defense. So she may testify, blah, 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 K-turn, blah, blah, blah. The defense on their case, the state rests, cross-examination's over, things come out. The defense wanted to ask her initiating questions. They wanted to ask fresh questions. And she said through John Laura, I'm pleading the fifth. I'm not saying a word to the defense because there is no immunity that can be bestowed from the defense to her as a witness. So she will not testify on her mother's behalf at all. Coward and guilty, my opinion. Sue me, Wendy. It's cowardice. And don't you think that's cowardice? You won't even say a nice word about your mother to the defense. Nope.
It's very in line with the way she's acted and not talking to her mother as soon as her mother was done with babysitting duties. Don't talk to her. Say, it's about the case and I can't talk to you about the case. Not calling after Charlie was convicted to make sure everyone's okay. I mean that's the way but I believe that's the way the Adelson family raised their kids. I mean, listen to that story that Robert Adelson told about returning money. That's like the reason you return money when you get too much change. So Robert Adelson returned money, and granted it's to a stranger, not someone you know, so it's a little different. But the reason you return money when you get too much change is because you have empathy for the cashier, and you don't want to be that cashier who, when they count their money at the end of the day, is short however much he was given extra. So when Robert Adelson gave that money back, they all called him Honest Abe and made fun of him for the rest of the day. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, it was something that really stuck in Robert Adelson's mind. How could you return that money? They harangued him. How could you return that money? So they taught their kids to look after, number one, that winning was ultimately the most important thing in life, to be winners and not losers, right? And that's so much about what this Dan Markel murder is about. It's about power and control, and it's about winning, getting the last word, And they couldn't have Dan Markel win anything. So to give up anything to negotiate with Dan Markel is to lose. To give an inch is to lose for these Adelson family. So, yeah, I think we explained what today was about. Were the Markels in court today? I wouldn't think so.
Say that again?
Pat, were the Markels in court?
No, but they're the victim's advocate, who's a female. She's kind of like mid-longish hair. I don't know her name, but she was in court on behalf of the Markels. And they can always watch the Zoom. So they have Zoom. They're muted, but they can always watch the Zoom.
Right. Yeah. So Dan hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. That's what that's about. We have to win. We have to win at all costs. Why do you think people are so fascinated with this case?
It is amazing. It's a lot of it has to do with the state and their hesitance. And it just does not, it just keeps giving. I mean, all the media people were there today getting set up, making, doing a test run. It's a big, big, big case. And having Harvey in the room is going to be fresh. Judge Everett brought it up. All the motions from the defense just keeps the cycle, the news cycle going, the YouTuber cycle. The media was asking YouTubers questions. Like, do we know who that is? Do we know who that is? Which I pointed out to them, by the way. I was like, you're asking a YouTuber, which is great. But it just keeps giving and giving and giving. Wendy's going to be there. She hasn't seen her mother 2+ years. She probably didn't see her very much even before that because of Charlie and the trial, because remember, she said on the stand she was told not to speak to her family. No one really has seen Harvey at all, except for that one time at the bail hearing where they were just explaining that they were just going to Vietnam for some peace and quiet.
Right.
It's peace and
what do you
quiet.
think of that story?
It's hilarious. I mean, if that is any tale as to why she's testifying for herself, someone needs to sit her down and really give her the what for, because it will kill her. I just wanted some peace. You do it best, Roberta. You do Donna on the stand. You do it best. It's hilarious.
I just wanted some peace. We said, Harvey, I said to my husband, honey, I just want to clear my head. And we just wanted some peace after Charlie. I don't even think she says convicted. After what happened to Charlie, we just wanted some peace. I said, honey, can we go somewhere? It's quiet and just get our head on straight.
It's so funny.
I'm speaking with Patty of Patty's Playhouse, who was at the hearing today. Donna's last hearing didn't even make the docket. Thank you for everyone for telling me about it. I wouldn't have known about it if it weren't for my audience keeping a keen eye and a legal focus. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I wasn't in the docket, so thank you. Is Paul Duck is asking, is testimony made at hearings like her BS about why she wanted to go to a non-extradition country? Oh, did we just answer that?
Well, no, he's asking, can they use that against her in court? And yes, they can. And that is a great question, because the judge reminded her that what she says can be used against her in court.
What do you think about, in retrospect, what do you think about her story? So I was wondering this, and I just curious what you think. So we don't know about how she was paying these prison snitches. And I found it very interesting that when she said she was extorted, that she made special note to know that she was being extorted in packages. And that's why she had so much commissary packages, the kind that you order, that Harvey had to kind of order and be mailed in. Do you think that she was paying maybe these prison snitches for favorable testimony with this commissary packages?
I think she was paying for her safety. That's what I would do. I've always said the first thing I would do if I were ever, I was arrested before, but if I ever had to go into the jail, I'd smack somebody right across the face so I could be put in solitary. I would I would do exactly what she did. Buy them presents so they would leave me alone.
Roberta, the reason I return money is if I'm given too much, is if I find it there is a place to turn it in, is because it's the right thing to do. Thank you. That too, Linda. But the right thing to do with the Adelson family isn't a compelling argument. It's not mine. Someone else is missing it. Right. Right. But they would say, what does the store need that money? They're making some, who knows what store it was. But you know what I mean? I mean, ultimately, it has to do with empathy, ultimately, and morality. And the morality of the Adelson family, their moral compass has always been, it's entirely set on themselves. I'm sure they see themselves, everybody sees themselves as immoral, but for them, the most important thing, the values that they taught. They taught the Adelson children to be winners, to earn, and the money is so important. Material things and status are so important, and human connections. I mean, among themselves, they're like a gang. When Luis Rivera was saying, well, the Latin Kings are a family, but I mean, the Adelson family is like a gang. I mean, not Robert. Robert left the gang, but they're really, they have their own code of ethics, their own way of dealing with the world. And they taught these kids to, win at all costs. And you can see how Wendy was buckling under it. This pressure to succeed and win and be perfect and look perfect and be skinny and pretty and perfectly coiffed. And, you see her when she's coming to court with her hair all messed up, frizzy with the humidity. Like, it's a kind of perfection you can't really do. But they arrest Wendy. Does subpoena quash go out the window? What, either going to arrest her before the trial? They need her for the trial. They're not going to arrest her before. They're not going to indict her before. Do you think Wendy will try to flee like Donna did?
No.
I don't think so either.
She's smart. She's smarter than all the others. I hate admitting it, but she is. Oh, Rebecca, who was with me, is now in your chat. Rebecca, who was with me, is now in your chat. And she's the one who noticed that Donna was crying.
Oh, hey, Rebecca, if you
very nervous.
You want to come in and chat. Yeah, if you want to come in and talk about it, I'll put the invite here. But what else? I'm talking with Patty of Patty's Playhouse. Someone else asking a question. Okay, here, Jane. What about Harvey's Zelle accounts and the phone calls during jail visits? Do you mean we talked about that earlier. You mean the phone calls made from the lawyers' Apple Watches? I don't know anything about Zelle accounts. Did I miss something? Patty, do you know about it?
That was allegedly, and we heard that in hearing feels like forever ago at this point, when they were talking about the February calls that were taken on Josh Zellman's watch, apparently his Apple Watch, that money had been passed to the jailhouse snitches or to somebody, because if you recall, they wanted to hurt the mother of one of the snitches. And, we don't know any more than that. Because it's all been.
So that would make sense, because the rumor was that Donna tried to harm her mother. That was probably that was probably Dorena Bernhardt's mother, who Donna is alleged, there was an allegation that she wanted to harm.
Yeah, I thought that was her name.
What do you think about Donna trying to harm? I mean, I assume that harm means kill, because if they have a broken leg, they can still come in and testify. Her own son. I mean, Robert, what do you think about that?
That's right. That was the other person I couldn't remember of all things. She's insane. She's not clinically insane. She's just evil. She's truly evil. You can't look at that woman. I was looking at photos trying to see if Alicia Devine, the pool photographer, has posted that photo yet of Harvey. And you just see her. She's got evil eyes, man. She's just evil. She's not a nice woman. I bet she wasn't nice to anyone unless they had, how do you say it? They suited her. And so if you cannot suit Donna, and Dan Markel clearly didn't, you are down. And she's just not a nice person. And Harvey is twice not as nice.
Yeah, I hear he just doesn't have even the facade of the fake persona that Donna or Wendy or has. Or Charlie is actually, you listen to him on those jailhouse calls, returning food and talking to other inmates. And he sounds like, like the guy next door or some guy you would know. I mean, just the mask, the public mask that these psychopaths hide behind. It always makes me laugh when people say, oh, someone I talk about, on this channel, so-and-so doesn't look like a murderer. They, murderers they just can't tell. I mean, sometimes you can tell, like Koberger clearly looks scary and was scaring, you're now hearing he was scaring people at the school, the University of Washington. But I mean, a lot of times they're not the quiet loner. They're often well liked. And Katie McBanoa, that's right. Katie McBanoa was the third person Donna was trying to off. How was she going to do that? How was she going to get to Katie in prison? I'm so curious to how she thought Harvey could achieve that.
This is like some 1950s like mafia family movie, like some, that you watch on Tubi. Like you're just like, I cannot believe this family. You just cannot believe how deadly they really are. And I mean it. I hope, and I'm 100% sure there'll be plenty of bailiffs in that room to watch Harvey, but that is who they need to watch. Sorry, he is not a well man.
I mean, you would just think that they would have made an animated series about it, or I would hope I would be able to do the Donna voice, but I love that job. Or a made. I don't know. They don't make made for TV, but Netflix is always looking. I mean, it's surprising that they haven't done a feature just on this case, because when I was interviewing Ruth Markel, she says it's stranger than fiction. It really is. This case, her own son's murder is, like she said, like a movie. It is very cinematic. And I mean, with the undercover, I think people are also interested. Oh, here's Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. Thanks for joining. Do you want to talk about what happened to you with Harvey? You were at the hearing today.
He's just such a tiny, weasel, little, tiny man. It's like he's shrunk to nothing.
Yeah.
Even at the photographer who was taking his picture. He's a sad little man. Who financed the whole thing?
Yeah. Do you think he'll be ever indicted in this?
What he did while Donna was in jail, because he was very careful, like Wendy, before it happened, but he was doing the stuff for Donna. So I can see how he could get indicted for that. I mean, just being in jail for a couple of months might kill him.
Yeah, I hear he's not. I heard he really was not doing well. I won't go into details about what I heard, but that he wasn't doing well. I think that's fair to say after Charlie's conviction. And we saw that picture of Wendy and Harvey with Wendy and Harvey after Charlie's conviction. That was odd. Does everybody remember that? They were like in a store. What do you think they were doing there?
Like Home Depot or something. He was fit as a fiddle looking.
So tell me what happened. I mean, what was it like from your perspective? Can you tell the story from your perspective? What happened?
Local press James from Mentor Lawyer was there. The investigator for the state's attorney was there. There were two women that were sitting behind Harvey that I didn't recognize, but they did not leave with Harvey, but my guess was they had something to do with it. Donna was crying before it started. She was wearing purple. It suits her. Jackie, again, wears clothes that don't fit her. They're falling off her in these hideous cowboy boots that are just, she wears them every time and they're just, I'm sorry, I have a thing for shoes and her shoes are terrible.
Me too. I know it looks like she got the message though to finally do her hair, like to get some hair. I mean, I've had my bad. You've all seen them. I've had my bad hair days myself, but she's finally gotten the message to maybe put a little hairspray in, and with the Tallahassee humidity, maybe I noticed her hair really done.
Jackie has super, super thin hair and her ears kind of stick out between them. Donna's hair actually looks better now that she cut it all off. It looks a lot better than it did. I'm sure she would prefer it to be blonde, but I didn't see her standing up, so I don't know if she's lost weight, gained weight. When Patty and I saw her, was it 6 months ago? She looked really, really heavy when she was trying to talk about her small ear canals. She looked like she'd put on 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. Yeah, sure did.
Touch snarky.
What are you looking forward to? So, Rebecca, what happened when Harvey put up, I mean, what was, I mean, I'm just trying to get your perspective of it, or what was your take on Harvey and why do you think he did this? And
I think that the theory that Georgia has that it was his 70th birthday gift, I think is very valid. I think all of them were in on it. Wendy had to say it was okay or they never would have done it. Harvey's the one that supplied the money for Donna to wash and to deliver to Charlie, because Donna doesn't have any money independently. So Harvey had to supply it. He had to know. He was driving with her. Just because he was smart enough not to actually have any text messages that we know about is one thing, but there's no way. Donna doesn't have any money independently. She couldn't just say, oh, by the way, Harvey, I need $130,000. And Harvey would just say, oh, sure, honey, let me go in the safe that I've been squirreling away for years and years by ripping off the IRS.
Is that true? Was he ripping off the IRS? Yeah. That's a really good point. I've been
has a safe with stacks of money in it. It's set for crooks.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I don't know. You're right. A safe. There's always those people. There's a family story. My family I can't remember, some relative of my parents, of my father's, who, when the maid was on vacation, she lived in the home. She had a room, and they redid her room while she was gone as a gift to her. And she came back, and the maid, they just heard this screaming from the room, and the maid had put all her savings, every penny that she had, in her mattress, and they had thrown it away. So
might have a little bit of money
mattress
saved.
is a little different than a safe. So I agree. I've been trying to tell people, there's still people who come, not a lot, that say Wendy wasn't involved. I don't think she knew. I don't know if they're trying to be Pollyanna-ish, or I really understand. But why would you get a gift for someone that you can't? Okay, I'm just trying to get in the Adelson's mindset that this is a gift that you can't return. Like, oh, you didn't want the father of your children killed? Oh, whoops, sorry. How do you remedy that? If Wendy's not on board, how do you remedy that? How does that not tear apart the family? How does that not destroy Wendy and destroy her children if they actually had, weren't psychopath? Like, I think Wendy's probably a psychopath and doesn't have a lot of feelings about Dan Markel's murder. But I mean, or ruin the children's lives, or how do you do that without getting Wendy's okay? You don't. There's just no situation on planet Earth where you would do that without Wendy's okay and expect the family relations to be held intact. Even if she wanted it to happen, you know, I don't know. What if Wendy had been, okay, driving by, gotten friendly fire? You'd want to tell her to stay away at least from the area. I don't know. Get an
What if the
alibi,
boys got
protect
sick and he
herself.
had to go and pick them up from preschool? And they went up to shoot him
Exactly.
and shot the boys. I mean, the
Right.
risk that they were taking is incredible.
Yeah. Donna's up in arms, though. You've heard her, right? Being up in arms, that people have pointed out that why didn't Wendy check if the kids were okay after Dan was shot? Have you heard her being up in arms about that on the jailhouse calls? I can play it for you.
I understand. The only thing about
Hold
Wendy
on.
and the trees falling down is trees fall down all the time in Tallahassee. So that part of the story I could almost get, but then not. And she did know that the boys were okay. That's the first thing Ison told her in the car. But then she just went on for hours and hours and hours without saying, well, listen, I really need to check on my kids.
Yeah. What kind of mother do you think Wendy is?
Terrible. No, she is.
In what way?
She had no.
In what way?
Those kids are possessions. That's the only reason that she took them from Dan is because she wanted to possess them. She never went. She only worked part-time at FSU. She made almost as much money as Dan, but she only worked part-time. But those kids were in preschool every day of the week, every day, and she wanted Mama to take care of those kids in South Florida, so she didn't have to be bothered. And she's never, maybe when she worked clerk for some judge, she might have worked full time, but she hadn't worked a lick since Dan was murdered.
I have a question. At what point during her being questioned by Craig Isom was she able to make arrangements to have her kids picked up? How did she do that so quickly? Remember, she's talking to that Jane in
who was kneeling down next to her.
Yeah, combing her hair for her with her hands was odd. But how did she have her kids picked up? Like, how did she have that arranged so quickly?
I don't know, mate. You're right. There was no spot that we saw her calling a friend, or unless she gave the number to Isom or the victim advocate to do it. But there were somehow that she was going to have them pick up the kids. But I'm assuming there's nothing cut out. But I mean, all of us have watched that interview over and over and over and over again, and we don't see her calling those people to come and get her kids from preschool, or calling the preschool and saying, by the way, I really need my friend to come and get my boys. This is an emergency. We don't see that.
I never thought about how quick until you mentioned that. I've never thought about it, but how did they get a pickup?
No reputable child care agency is going to give a child to a stranger person just because they walk in and says, hey, I'm here to get Wendy's kids. That doesn't happen. It has to have specific names of people who could or could not pick up the kids. So they had to make some sort of emergency arrangements with Creative Preschool. And it had to come from Wendy. Couldn't come from Dan.
Nope. And how do you think the killers knew what Dan's schedule was? Do you think Donna would have known that in Miami? Rebecca?
Well, it's my understanding that when Wendy was down in Miami on her 2 weeks with the boys, however long she was down there, one of the last texts she sent to Dan was, hey, I want to know if your schedule is still, if you're still going to be in town, I need to pick up the kiddos Friday afternoons. I personally believe that she was checking to make sure Dan's schedule had not changed, and she gave that information to Donna and Charlotte. I mean, why would she really care about his exact schedule? And she did it from in Miami.
Wow.
So
All
I
right.
think that's probably the most direct evidence
right.
against her, because she did text that to him. And they know where she was when it was texted.
I forgot about that.
Do you guys, is there anything else? I mean, what are you looking forward to, Rebecca, in this trial the most? Donna's trial starts tomorrow. If you're just tuning in, I'm with Patty of Patty's Playhouse channel on YouTube, who's local to Tallahassee, and Rebecca, also local. It was also at Donna's hearing today. What are you looking forward to, Rebecca?
I'm looking forward to Donna getting what's coming to her, because I don't think it will take the jury very long. I mean, Donna has to still use the basic double extortion. What else is she going to say?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Charlie's defense 2.0. Patty, I'm gonna. My understanding is Patty has a. I'm so sorry, Patty. I didn't know you had a live scheduled. I better.
Extras. Sometimes in the garbage can itself, if you pull up what's full, there will be extra garbage. Did you check out all the cans?
I'm just going to remove her for a second so she can have some privacy, just for a second.
The photo is posted of Harvey. Can I send you the link, Roberta?
Yeah. It might take a second. Yeah, it might take a second. My email is particularly small.
Oh, he's so.
Okay, I'm waiting for it. Can you put it up, Patty? Or I can look for it. Hold on, let me a second.
It's on the Tallahassee Democrat, and I sent you the link in this private studio chat.
Thank you. Thanks. I forgot about the private chat. Thank you, Patty.
You scroll down.
Got it. Thank you.
And you'll see.
All right,
Donna.
here's the picture of, and I won't. I'm sorry. I will let you go to your. I'll probably be tuning in to your live.
Oh well.
Hold on 1 second.
Show this, and then I'll go. They're most of them.
Okay, there. Is that him from today?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like in this members only kind of jacket. Do you remember those?
Look. There you go.
Oh. Whoa. I feel like that's going to be the picture when Donna gets convicted. Bye, Donna, with that.
Told you, it's a mess. What an idiot.
I was afraid he was going to try to slug the camera woman.
That's what she was. Well, I'm not going to say anything, but it was unnerving.
We got a nice caption. It's not that Harvey Adelson menaces the camera woman. It's Harvey Adelson waves to the camera as he exits courtroom after a hearing was held for his wife's trial Monday. That is very generous of the Tallahassee Democrat from your description of what happened. Can you just, for the people who are coming in late, Patty, can you describe what happened?
Jess just asked me. I have no idea. Ask Miss Pam.
So, Rebecca's at, I think she's at her sorority house. So what happened was we were told to leave. We were all gathering our stuff up real quick because nobody wants to be tossed out. They want to walk out on their own. And they were doing the in-camera hearing, and I got up and walked out. So I was making a left to leave my side of the bench. Rebecca's in front of me, and he just does this wave like this. And she turns around. Alicia Devine turns around and looks at us, and her eyes are like that. Her eyes are wide. And I start to laugh because that's what I do. I started to laugh, and then she's at this point, she's like two people in front of me, Alicia, and he's right in front of her, and he turns around, spins around, and he goes, "Did you get a good one?" And he was laughing. And she said, "Yes, sir, I did." And then we leave. He stepped off to the right, and we left to the left, and that walked to the elevator, and we went down the elevator together, and we left.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring this to a close. Patty, I can't. Wait. Maestro has one question before I go.
Keep
quickly.
scrolling, Roberta. Keep scrolling on these photos. You haven't
Oh,
seen him.
okay. I will. Thank you. Is that a leather jacket on Harvey? He really is in a bad place. Yeah, it
No,
looks
it
like.
looks like a sweat coat, like a sweatshirt jacket, like a running, like part of a workout jacket.
Maybe nylon, kind of slick. It didn't look like a leather. See, I told you she was crying. See, they just
You're
showed
right.
the picture. That's how I saw her from where I was sitting.
Did you
I
see
knew
tears, or was it just the kind of face he cries?
That's the just a weepy face. I assumed. I mean, her face was red. I just assumed she was crying. But that's a good shot of what she looked like before it all commenced.
She doesn't look bad though. She doesn't look bad with a little weight on her.
No.
Donna. Mm-mm.
Next one. There you go.
What was that look for, you think?
She's trying to look at him, but not communicate with him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
love you,
You're
Harvey.
right. I'm trying to send my love with my eyeballs, but it looks like she's giving a hex. Oh, look at that picture of Georgia. That's a great picture of Georgia Kappelman. Oh, wow. Great picture. She really is very photogenic.
There you go.
And how many? Not many people in the room, huh?
No.
You can't.
It's a tiny little courtroom.
Is it?
You'll see her crying in that photo. She's crying in that photo.
So yeah, how are you all? I mean, you're already. Are you going to attend the trial?
Absolutely.
So how are everybody going to? I mean,
Well,
you
we're
think
not.
Everybody who wants to go is going to fit.
I don't know. The court. I asked the guys at the metal detector today. They're not opening till 8, and the jury comes in at like 8:15, 8:30 for their start. So I don't think a lot of people will be at the jury selection, but they don't even open until 8. I know when I am in jury pool for Friday, unfortunately, and I have to be there at 7.
So will you get a list of questions, what they're asking? Because that was my frustration when I went to jury selection, is you don't know what questions they're answering the prospective.
No. I'm sure they'll submit it to the media when it's time, but nothing right out the gate. What happens if people don't know? The defense has decided the questions, the prosecution has decided the questions, and then the judge decides the questions.
Yeah, that's what I might do tonight. I don't know. It probably won't be I don't know. What would people like to see me do tonight? I don't know. I'm half thinking jury selection, maybe going over. I don't know if I can stand Wendy's interrogation one more time. I really don't know if I can take it. The fake crying and the full talking with full voice, even though she's supposed to be crying. Donna has the same problem. All right. I'm going to close this out. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comment section tonight, or maybe I'll just call this to a close. Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's so nice to meet you. And
nice to meet you too.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tonight at 6. Thanks everyone for listening.
What a stitch you're in. You plotted a murder 'cause you wanted to raise your daughter's kid. Tallahassee is just a stop on the way to civilization. Miami is where all the fancy people are. The TV is about 5. You can't get away from that. Two-toe, tay-toe, hoo-ho, you know the guy you pay, and you can't get away from that. Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. You thought jail was just for the little people, but now you're so blankets with the locked-up crew. You're a grandmother in lockdown, and your one-way ride to freedom you blew. family are exiled from the social circles you swam in. We all know you never made that banana bread or offered to babysit for Dan, but you'll soon be making license plates and thinking about